Happy Monday, friends. Happy President's Day here in the U.S. And we begin this week, of course, with a warm welcome, not only to all of you in V-Team Land, but a warm welcome to one of our newest Verizon leaders. We are going to get to know our new Senior Vice President of Consumer Sales, Mr. Sean Lee, and we are thrilled to have him join us live today. Sean, thank you so much. You're very first up to speed. Welcome to the V-Team, sir.
All right, thanks, Andy, and thank you, everyone. You give me an opportunity to speak to everybody, but hello, V-Teamers. Very excited to be here today.
Yeah, Sean. So let's get, before we get to our, we're going to do a little 60 seconds. We're going to put Sean on the hot seat here. But before we do.
Is this like breaking the honeymoon period over?
No, not even. No way. No way. This is a great.
I'm like 3 weeks. I'm like 3 weeks in. So be kind.
I'll be kind. I just want to make sure for folks who, obviously, when we think of this position here, Vice President of Consumer Sales, there's a lot of things that that it may apply to, but we just want to get from your perspective, what is this position all about? This is about driving retail, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, consumer sales, obviously, we want to have sales top of mind, but it's really about the physical store, both our direct stores and our indirect stores. Obviously, we got the powerful Verizon brand. We want to make sure anybody coming into any one of our buildings, they get to truly experience what the brand is all about. And hopefully that's what we get to continue to show in our stores.
And as we'll all get to know, Sean brings with him a wealth of knowledge in this retail space. So we're so excited to have you. But as I mentioned, there is I won't call it a hot seat, Sean. I'll call it a warm seat, okay. A warm welcome with a warm seat here, 60 seconds. And you may have seen some of these videos. If you haven't, check them out on Inside Verizon, on the Inside Verizon app and our Inside Verizon YouTube page, which I'm sure Sean and many of our V-Teamers will continue to familiarize themselves with. So what happens here is in a minute here, in 60 seconds, we're going to get to know you rapid fire. So I'm going to give you some rapid fire questions. And the ones with our leaders, with Hans and our leaders, those were taped. So this one's actually a little more challenging. We're going to do this live. Are you ready, sir?
Let me think about it. Okay, what's the goal here, Andy? To break a record? Is that the goal?
Oh, well, that's up to you. That's up to you. You can strategize here. If you don't want to answer too many questions, you can certainly let the clock tick a little bit, but we certainly would like to know you with as many questions as possible. So if our tech team here can go ahead and put the time on the clock. Here we go. We've got a minute, and I believe the clock will start to fly in here, and I think we do have the clock ready to go. So if that's the case, I'm actually going to, just so I make this official, I'm going to start my stopwatch as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll put 60 seconds on the clock. And here we go. First question, sir. First app you check in the morning.
USA Today.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Let's see. Competitive, passionate, and caring.
Favorite sport to watch?
Oh, it's got to be football, hands down, and I missed it too.
Morning person or night owl?
Oh, definitely a morning person.
Favorite band?
Favorite band? You know what? I was a big fan of the 80s rock band, probably GNR, but now I'm getting a little bit more softer, so probably like K-pop and some of the pop stuff.
Okay, Axl Rose and BTS. Okay. Do you have a nickname?
You know what? And when I was playing sports, I always got called by my last name, Lee. I don't know why.
Lee.
Yeah.
I've heard Choi many times in locker rooms. Favorite hobby?
Running, playing sports.
Least favorite corporate buzzword?
Oh, you know what? How about robust? That sounds like it's made for coffee.
Favorite karaoke song?
Oh,
Saved by the Bell.
Did I run out the clock? Is that what it is? I probably answered like 3 questions.
You did. No. You did great. You did great. It's just I was, every time I do the song question, I always have people singing. Yeah. And can we hear a little GNR maybe, or am I gonna? Is that too much?
Hey, that's a little too much. How about like I got sunshine.
Oh, Valentine's Day. On a cloudy day. I like that. Okay.
That's about it. So that's good enough.
That was great. CV team, this is Sean Lee in 60 seconds. I love that. That was fantastic, sir. Thank you
All right.
for humoring me and taking part in that. We got to know you very well, but let's dive deeper into your thoughts on the business here, Sean. So how would you explain your role here in terms of transforming retail when we think about our physical stores? Because the landscape, frankly, is changing in so many ways, and every business is thinking about this.
Yeah, you know what? This has been like top of mind, obviously, last year with the pandemic hitting, not only in Verizon, but just all the way across from a retail perspective. Because, I'd like to think from a retail perspective, things were already in motion. I think last year we talk about changes, but quite frankly, I think it just accelerated a lot of change. And when you just kind of look at the retail landscape, I've been in retail for 25 plus years. So makes me sound a little dated, but that's how long I've been in retail. But I would just say in the last probably 3 to 4 years, I probably experienced more change in the retail landscape than probably the previous 20 plus years. So it's definitely a top of mind question. So what does the new role entail? I would just say, when you're always consumer facing, being the voice of the consumer and being the voice of the store really matters, because I think, the role of the physical change has evolved, but still there is a lot of face to face, and that's what the consumers come in for. So what do we want to experience? We want to experience both balancing the rate, elevating the customer experience in the stores, but at the same time, our job in the stores is to drive results, which means we got to own the numbers that's coming out of the building. It's a little bit challenging these days because of all the different reasons that's out there. But boy, if you look at 2021, we want to balance providing that sort of the great customer experience when she comes in. At the same time, drive the results we're looking for. So those are probably the big thing. Just continue to be the voice of the consumer, because boy, her behavior or his behavior is changing as by the minute, and we just got to keep a very, very close pulse of it, because we don't want to be always reactive, but how do we be proactive in that space as well?
Absolutely. And I think the companies that really think about that in a very intimate way and personally think about how do I as a consumer want to be treated or interact with. And I know, and I did a little homework on you here, Sean. I know 13 years at Sears. You mentioned 25 years in retail. You've worked at JCPenney, Samsung, just to name a few. In those companies, what are some of the best practices that you've learned over the years? And what will Verizon benefit from because of that knowledge that you have coming from those different companies?
You know what? I'm a retail guy, as you stated. I was with Sears, I was with Kohl's Department Store, JCPenney, and Samsung previously. But you know what? There's a lot of great things out of those organizations. At one point in time, all of those organizations had success, and some of them still have success. But you know what? Learning from all the great stuff is one piece, but also learning from some of the shortcomings or opportunities is probably even a bigger learning. So one of the things I've learned through the course of my career is just because you have success now, and just because you're on the top of the mountain now, doesn't always guarantee you success tomorrow. So I think the challenge of sort of bettering ourselves every single day has got to be top of mind, not only for us, but every single person that works for Verizon. We just got to have that type of mentality. The second piece is I've talked about change and the evolution of retail. Guess what? The speed of the game is fast even today. So how do we constantly evolve with the customer, and how do we anticipate those changes? I think those are probably one of the big things. And when I mention different levels of success for companies at different times, you gotta look at change, and change is uncomfortable. But the reality is when you have to change, it's kind of too late. And so how do we push that boundary of pulling ourselves out of the comfort zone a little bit and sort of slide into the space of, let's anticipate to some of the changes and be a change agent for the company, and let's continue to drive that piece. And the last part, I would just say, one of the biggest learnings is, this sounds very, very fundamental or basic, but you can't forget about the customer. I know when we're sitting in meetings and things, we have different aspirational goals and all the stuff that we're trying to achieve. But the one person you can't forget about in that whole equation is the customer being the center of our universe. And if you kind of view everything through the lens of the consumer, boy, I think good things happen for us.
Absolutely, and it's consistent with the way that we like to think about the consumer and the customer here. And I know that the ones that really feel that intimate connection are the ones on the front line. So with that in mind, Sean, how do you see yourself interacting with our frontline retail V-teamers? I know with this type of transformation, frankly, there have been some critical conversations about how we're going to change and constructive feedback as well. But your style and your way of interacting, how do you hope to capture their hearts and their imagination to bring that change forward?
You know what? It's always been a team approach in retail. And, when I say team, it's all of us. Every frontline associates, whether it's direct, whether it's indirect stores, anything with a Verizon sign on top, that's the team, right? And sometimes when we're so competitive with each other, we forget the competition isn't the store next door. It's the competition is our true competition. So how do we get that one team mentality? I know we've already started that journey. Krista set that path from last year, but we got to continue to think about we win together as a team. The second piece is let's celebrate the wins. And let's be honest, last year was taxing on everybody. From a personal standpoint, from a professional standpoint, and we can talk about all the different challenges that were thrown at us, and it wears on you, and we know it wears on you. But you know what? We got to look ahead, and I think there's a lot of great things happening in the stores, and we probably don't do enough to celebrate and recognize the people that's doing all the day in, day out, sort of the tough work in terms of the stores. The second part is it's okay. I'm giving everyone permission. It's okay to have fun. I think sometimes we're so serious about what's happening, we forget, what, retail is fun. That's why I stayed in retail for my entire career, and it's okay to do that. And the second permission is what, retail teams usually have a little bit of a swagger in terms of what they accomplish and what they deliver every single day. So if we can kind of put those two things together, and for 2021, how do we drive more fun in our stores, enjoy what we're doing? Oh, by the way, can we have a little swagger because we're driving the results that we're looking for? So those are probably the two big things. That's the interaction and engagement that I'm kind of looking for from the teams.
John Lee is going to help us get our swagger back because we've got it in spades, and now we have permission to rock the swagger. So that's fantastic. And I know your heart is with our retail front line here. So with that in mind, we do have a question here from our retail teammates. So let's go ahead and roll that video question, and Sean, go ahead and answer as soon as that question finishes. Here's the question.
Retail's seen some changes of late, and with COVID, we've seen more changes. Can you talk to us about what you see as the future of retail?
So, Sean, addressing COVID, obviously, and our retail team has been through a lot in 2020. Talk to us about that future of retail. What do you see for the future?
All right. Well, first of all, thanks, Julius, for asking that question. I think that has been the sort of the $100 million question for everyone. What is the future of retail? And first, before I start answering or give you some of my thoughts but let's really think about all the great stuff the team's done so far up to this point when the pandemic hit, right? Safety was top of mind, and safety needs to be top of mind continuously. There's nothing more important than the safety of our team as well as the consumer. So you think about all the efforts that we've made, pick up in store, touchless experience, the curbside service, all the great things. I mean, seems, when we reflect back, sometimes we don't give ourselves credit, but I think the teams deserve a ton of credit because those are things that we really didn't do a good job of or didn't know how to do in the past, and now we're actually good at it. So I think that's the first piece. The second part of it is we got to continue that journey. It's all about the consumer journey from an end-to-end perspective. And when you look at Verizon, there's so many avenues of the consumer journey. And the physical store is one touch point of that journey. It's an important touch point, but is a one touch point. So when you start thinking about what is the future of retail, it's really being a solution for that consumer. The consumer has so many choices. You have so many choices online. You have competition. You have so many different things. But the only thing that matters is you care about what her solutions are, and when you care about what her experiences are. So I think the future of retail, we got to continue to explore the self-navigation and the guide in the store. I was lucky enough before I left Korea late last year. Is another carrier in Korea. They had a sort of an innovative store of the future type thing, and it was a completely self-guided store. The consumer, they had sales reps and stuff in there just in case you wanted to interact and you had questions, etc. But the whole store was set up. Doesn't mean we need to go down that path, but it also gave me some thoughts about, well, that's interesting. That's something what the consumer may need. So we got to continue to innovate in terms of what that self sort of guide is in our stores. Then the second part of it is retail is simple. We make retail very, very complex, and I say we, not in terms of Verizon, but just retail landscape as a whole. We make retail sometimes very, very hard. It's all about sort of catering to the customer on how she wants to interact with us, right? So it could be touchless. It could be convenience. One of the big pieces, I think, for the future of retail is cutting down some of the unnecessary time. Everybody would say this day and age, time is precious, right? You don't want to spend an enormous amount of time on things that you don't think it warrants an enormous amount of time. So eliminating consumers' pain point in that consumer journey is top of mind for me. And I think we have a lot of opportunities to do so. And one of the things I would ask the team is it's okay to ask questions, right? If you think there's a pain point in our stores, and we can't always say yes to everything, because obviously there's investments that we need to make, we need to prioritize and all that stuff. But you know what? Having a great visibility of all the pain points and how can we serve the customer a little bit better, I think that's the future of retail. And the last part I would just say is we got to anticipate some of the consumer behavior change, not just always be in a reactive mode. And boy, the only way we can do that is through the innovation piece.
The passion and just the way that you deliver this, the energy, you can just tell that you live, breathe, and think and consume all things consumer, and it's great to have you on the team, making sure that we all kind of feel that passion for the consumer. I know that passion extends, of course, to your family as well. You are a family man, and I want to introduce your family, and thank you for sharing these pictures with us. But tell us about your family, introduce us, and give us a little. Let's get to know a little more about you, Sean. Where are you from? And tell us about these 11 driver's licenses, too.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Somehow the 11 driver's license became the high point, right? I'm not running away from the law.
I thought I had a lot with 5, and New Jersey would be 6, but 11's pretty crazy. But tell us about your family and what's going on outside of work.
Yeah, you know what? My wife Jenny and I, we've been together. This year's a very critical year for me. It's 25 years of marriage.
Wow.
So,
congratulations.
You know, yeah, thank you. It's probably need to congratulate her for dealing with me for 25 years. But you know what? I'm usually not good at this stuff, but I can't screw up this year. So we've been married for 25 years. We have 2 beautiful kids. My daughter, Julia, who graduated college last year, and she's working in a hospital up in Boston. So she's trying to stay in the medical field. So definitely proud of all the things that Julia's done. Then Justin, he just started his college career last fall, but actually got to get on campus at the beginning of this year. So I think he's enjoying life, and my wife is a little disappointed because he doesn't ever answer the phone when she calls. So hopefully we can get that course corrected at some point. And then our dog, my kids love our dog Biscuit. So he's been with us for 13 years. We adopted him about 13 years ago on Valentine's Day, so he's celebrating a little bit of a sort of a birthday. So definitely that is my family in a nutshell. But you know what? I'm very proud of my family, and we do a lot of things, and we're passionate about work. But I tell you what, family is sort of the core of what I do.
Fantastic. And a happy forever home day to Biscuit. I thought you were going to mention another dog, a Georgia Bulldog, perhaps. I did some homework on you, Sean.
Oh, you did. That's pretty good. You know what? I can't talk about sports anymore, though. All my teams. Those of you who live in Georgia, that's where I grew up. So I root for all the teams in Georgia, Atlanta. But you know what? They've been less than spectacular these days. So hopefully this year will change it up a little bit.
Maybe the Falcons will fare well one of these days. They'll probably do better than the Bears, my team. Well, it was great to get to know your family background, your philosophies about our company, and we'll come back to you for some final thoughts here. But speaking of family and community, and before we wrap things up with Sean, on behalf of our teammates from the PACE ERG, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention and wish you, all of our V-teamers, a belated happy Lunar New Year, which kicked off last Friday, and that's when PACE held their very first virtual Lunar New Year celebration. It's the year of the ox. Lots of great messages coming from our leaders as well, including a beautiful note from Tammy to our VBG team. We also heard from Guru about why cultural celebrations like these are so important, especially in the world we live in now. Here's Guru with those thoughts.
I've always felt this way. But now when you think about, particularly after 2020, the call it pandemic world right now we live in, it is so important that we seek to build bridges with not just people within our communities, but with those surrounding us as well. I have this saying that I love a lot. If you want to change the world, it starts with yourself first, which also means that you have to invest in self-leadership, looking internally for the change you want externally, and creating that change starts with building empathy for those around you. And celebrating holidays and festivals is actually in a great way, easiest way to build that empathy and relationship with those around you. But also, it's a fun way to do it.
And our thanks to Liana Brinded, global lead of PACE there, talking with Guru, leading that discussion with him. And that empathy Guru talks about was really at the heart of this celebration as our V-teamers enjoyed a variety of entertainment, including, of course, a virtual version of the Dragon Dance. It is believed that performing the Dragon Dance scares away evil spirits and all the bad luck associated with them and brings in good luck and wealth instead. So more of that good luck in 2021, please. Now, in addition, there was a children's choir as well, virtually wishing participants a prosperous 2021 through the power of their music. And we also had a very real discussion about the state of Asian American identities coming into this new year. We had a panel discussion featuring leaders Ed Chan, Mickey Chen, Karen Koo, and Magda Yazari. We were not only sharing our favorite foods and our New Year traditions, but the conversation also addressed some recent events that sparked several advocates and groups around the country to come together and protect Asian American communities across the country. And while the last year has been a difficult time for many, including the Asian community, I want to share with you a snippet from this panel discussion. Here's Mickey Chen speaking very honestly about assimilation, optimism, and hope for this new generation. Take a look.
All of our kids, I think, see the world so differently than we did. Before, it was, if you were a person of color, you needed to conform to the majority, which is white. And I'll say that my parents, because we were the minority, they felt it was important for us to assimilate. Assimilate meant, to some degree, being more white than we were. And I feel like it's so freeing now that it's not that, even though you might be in an environment where the majority of people are white, our company says every different race, color, gender, that we're all equal, and that you bring your authentic self.
Big thanks to Mickey, Ed, Karen, and Magda, and of course to our PACE team for providing an event full of great discussion. Lots of fun, as you can see there. A little bit of trivia as well. I did not wear my mint green jacket. I wore a red tie because that was really the only thing red I had. And you saw there, Ed saw me put the tie on, so he goes and runs out and puts a tie around his neck. They didn't even tie it, so I think Ed and I both need to invest in some red clothing for next year's Lunar New Year celebration. But thank you to our leaders. Thank you to PACE for a wonderful celebration last Friday. And V-Team, if you are interested in watching the Lunar New Year event in full, look for it to publish on VZ Web later this week. Later this week, let's take our final slide. This Thursday, February 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern, you're going to want to join the Verizon policy team for an inspiring discussion highlighting trailblazing Black women in all parts of the political sphere. All of the details and how to register will be included in today's replay story. So some final thoughts here from our Senior Vice President of Consumer Sales, Mr. Sean Lee. Thank you so much for joining us today, for giving us a glimpse into your vision for this new future, for helping us navigate the retail space here, both direct and indirect. And we just look forward to this new chapter, this new energy, and of course that new swagger that we're all going to have here in the years to come here. So as we end here, just wanted to get your final thoughts and your thoughts on 2021, what it takes for consumer sales, or really the entire team in general, to be successful in 2021.
Oh, thanks, Andy. I appreciate the time. Definitely a powerful message that we just heard, but, I'll touch on that piece a little bit later. But I would say my final thoughts, as we come together, what is success for 2021? It's all about the consumer. If we can get the entire organization, I know we're already thinking about the consumer, but if we can get laser locked in on her experience, and how do we make this an omni experience from channel to channel? I think those are the formula for success. I started a conversation with my teams last week, and it was basically the 100-day approach. And basically, in retail, we want to get to a fast start. And there's really three things we talked about in those things, and I think it's probably beneficial and helpful for everybody. One is the team approach. How can we drive consistency across our brand, both from a direct and indirect perspective? And how do we share best practices? I think that's going to be our formula for success in the stores. Second part, you guys are probably already tired of hearing me saying the repeat information, is the customer centricity. It's a people first mentality of our store teams as well as the consumer, and be a solution for the consumer. That's what she's looking for. The third piece is the ownership. Commitment to results. You know what? Let's own the results that's out there, and let's make sure every interaction counts. And what I told my team is we're going to focus on the 3 R's this year. Basically, let's record this, let's replay this, and let's repeat this, because that's going to be our message all throughout the year. So the other part, I just want to say Happy New Year, and it's great to see the openness and the diversity piece that we're looking into. I mean, we got to respect the different cultures out there. I'm a Korean American. I just spent the last 2 years plus living in Korea, working for Samsung out of their home office. So even though that is my roots, I felt like a foreigner living in Korea because I haven't been there for a while. So it was great to get back engaged. But I think at a higher level, I think from an organization standpoint and from a culture standpoint, just accepting everybody, I think that will go a long ways, and that will be sort of our DNA in terms of what success looks like, because you know what, we need all the different thoughts and we need all the different ideas, and guess what, we can celebrate together as one family. So before I leave with you, I'll throw my little Korean for basically wishing everybody Happy New Year. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. Thanks, Andy, for your time.
And I'll add to that as well, and display my fairly bad Korean. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. Sean, thank you very much for your time. As a fellow Korean American, the admiration for you, not only as a Korean American but as a V-teamer, it's very strong. And so thank you very much for joining our team, for sharing your thoughts, and we look forward to seeing you in future up to speeds to come.
All right, thanks.
All right, folks. So there you have it. Monday, we're getting our swagger back with Sean Lee, and hopefully you're having a great President's Day, and of course a great start to the work week. We'll see you back here with more content on Up to Speed throughout the week, and until next time, you're up to speed. Have a good one.